Today I'm going to show you how to do assignment number 6, which is the mini minor poster. It's going to be done in two parts. The first part's going to be done in Photoshop, and the second part is going to be done in Illustrator. The reason we're doing that is we are going to use Photoshop to manipulate an image, and then we're going to be using Illustrator to create a background and text. So essentially we are going to be making a poster. When we are done, this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to be doing the car in Photoshop, and then the whole background here and the text in Illustrator. In order to get started, we are going to use the Morris 1967 car. So if you click on that, it's going to open up a car picture. So this is the car that we are going to use for our poster. I'm just going to right click and copy image and then open up Photoshop. Okay, once I open up Photoshop, I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to name it, let's name it your last name, first initial, underscore, car. And then just accept the default, click OK, and then go Edit, Paste, and it's going to paste our picture. Now, the first thing that we need to do in order to get this picture onto our poster is we need to eliminate the background. We want, since there is a lot going on in the background, and we want just the car, we are actually going to be using the pen tool to extract the background. You know, in the past you've used the magic wand tool, you've used the magic eraser tool. The pen tool is used if you want a really exact cutout of something. That way, you know, the magic wand and the magic eraser, they're really good, but they don't get as close as it could. The pen tool allows you to get exactly what you want. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. If you do not have your navigator open, you can go to Window, Navigator. And in order to successfully use the pen tool, you want to be zoomed in pretty close. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use this pen tool to outline the car. It's going to be a slow process, and it can be frustrating, but the results will be way better than using the magic eraser or anything like that. So you can zoom in as close as you want, or kind of find where you feel you're good at. And I just erased something. Whoops. Okay, make sure you're in your selection tool. Okay, so I'm going to use my pen tool. Make sure, once you click on your pen tool, make sure this up here says path. If it says shape or pixels, change it to a path, because basically we want to create a path with our pen tool. We don't want to create a shape out of it. So all you're going to do is you're going to click on your starting position. I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to click. And then I'm going to decide, where do I want my next anchor point to be? I'm going to choose about right here, and I'm going to click. Now I'm still holding down the mouse. Now the issue is I don't want a straight line because my car is curved. So with the mouse still down, I can actually move my mouse and move this line, and I can make it as straight or as curved as I want. The further I bring it out, the more I can curve it. Just kind of move your mouse around and play with it to get a feel for it. So you're just going to move your mouse around until you get the exact curve of that car that you like. Once you get the curve that you like, you can let go of the mouse, and then holding down Alt, A-L-T, Alt, you're going to click on this little middle square right here. Okay, so I'm going to hold down Alt and click the middle square. What it did was it got rid of that line that was coming right here, and it's going to allow you to do your next point. So now I'm going to find my next point on the car, click, holding it down, I'm going to move it until I find kind of the curve that I want, unclick the mouse, hold down Alt, hit the middle square, and then I let go of everything, and I find my next anchor point. You can make the anchor points as close or as far away as you want. You know, the more curved something is, the more anchor points you want. The less curved something is, the less anchor points you actually need. So I might make my next anchor point right here and just kind of keep going. Okay, let go, hold down Alt, hit the middle square, and let go of everything. And then just keep going. I can hold down. If you mess up, you can just hit delete. Let me scoot back. Say you messed up after you declicked everything, you decided that you didn't like this line. Instead of starting over, all you have to do is hit the delete button on your keyboard, and it will delete the last anchor point that you did. So if you messed up a lot, you can just keep hitting delete, and it will delete everything that you do. I'm going to step backwards because I liked mine. So you're just going to keep making your way around. So click on my anchor, move my mouse around until I find the curve that I want. Hold down Alt, click on the middle square. I'm going to click my next anchor point. Oh, see, I don't like that one at all, so I'm just going to hit delete. Hold down Alt, click, and I'm going to keep going. Alt, click the middle square. Alt, hit the middle square, click, holding down the mouse, you're going to drag, hold down Alt, click the middle one, holding down Alt, click the middle square, and you want to get your way around. I'm going to delete that one because I don't like the position of it. Hold down Alt. So I'm just going to continue making my way down this car. Hold down Alt, click the middle square. Hold down Alt, click the middle square. Don't forget you can't cut off the side mirrors. And if you don't need to curve it any, you can just kind of click. Like I'm not holding down Alt because I'm creating straight lines here. So the only time you have to like click Alt to go to the next point is if you have a curved line. Hold down Alt, click the middle square. Like I said, this is a slow process, but it'll get us the best possible cutout of our car. Hold down Alt, click the middle square. I'm going to hit the delete button because I don't like that one. I'm actually just going to chop that off right there. hit delete on, like, oops. If you mess up, just the backspace is just your, not the backspace, but your step backwards is just your favorite key. Just step back until you can figure out where you want to start again if you happen to mess up. Don't forget, it's Alt, click the middle button, oh, I don't like that one, delete that one, okay. Anytime you delete, make sure you click on that square to activate it again. If you don't do that, then it's going to create a new path, and you don't want that. Okay, we do not want to cut off the tire, so don't go here. We got to go around the tire. Oops, I should need to make one more. Whoops. See it? I clicked off of it. So make sure you always click on it to have it activated. Since this is a pretty straight line, you can make your path pretty long because it's nice and straight. Don't forget, click, hold your mouse down, move it to the curve, unclick your mouse, hold down Alt, click the middle square, just keep going. We're almost done. If you ever want to crop a person out of a picture, this is a really good tool to do that, because you would want that person to be cropped out pretty specifically. So I feel this is a good tool for cropping people out of pictures. Oh, hit delete. Click on that to make it active, and I'm going to try that again. I didn't like what I did. you hit delete too many times, it deletes the entire path. That's okay. Just step backwards and then just click on the last square to reactivate it. And then just go at it again. Okay, we're almost back to where we started. Okay, so now I'm back to where I started, and it automatically joined it over here. So the next thing we wanted to do is we want to go to Paths, and down here at the bottom, we're going to put Load Path as Selection. It's going to be the circle with the dots. Click on that, and we're going to zoom out. So now our picture has the marching ants around it, and we've selected it. The next thing we're going to do is I want you to go back to your layers, and we are going to go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And we're basically going to make a new layer that has just our car in it. And then we're going to rename this layer Car. So you now should have two layers. One layer that has the entire car, and one layer that has just the car and no background. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new layer. So you can do this two ways. You can go layer, new, layer, or down here at the bottom, you can hit the new layer button. We're going to name this layer background, and we're going to move it underneath the car, so it's going to be our middle layer. We're going to use our paint bucket tool, and we're going to make it white. So if you do not have black and white right here, just click on this the mini black and white here to reset your colors, and then switch the colors so that you have white on top. We're going to go ahead and hide the bottom layer, and then using your paint bucket tool, you're just going to make yourself a white background. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust this image, like the look of it. So we're going to go adjust image adjustment, and we're going to desaturate it. Oh, here it is. I couldn't find it. Desaturate. Oh, make sure you are not on the background image. Make sure we're on the car image. That'll make a difference. So car, image, adjustment, desaturate. It's going to make it black and white. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a blur to it. You can use the filter tools and the adjustment tools, any of these, when you're creating your own poster. After this assignment, you're going to have to use what you learned in this assignment to create your own style of poster. So you can use any of these, or what I like a lot are my filters. You have blur filters, you have distort, you have pixelate, sharpen, stylize. You can go to the filter gallery, and there are all sorts of different filters. So I can do a green look, I can do a underpainting, I can do a watercolor. You have brush strokes, so I can do a crosshatch, a spatter. And all of these little over here, you know, you can decide even more how you want it to look. Sprayed strokes. You have glass. You have the open ocean ripple. You have the sketch where you can, a graphic pen. That's a cool looking one. Chrome, charcoal. So filters are one of my favorite things to use. Stylize, you can make it a cool looking picture. Texturize, you can do like a stained glass look, and then you can like make the stained glass bigger or smaller, the border thickness. So all sorts of things. So I love filters. And then these are also other filters you can use. So we're going to do blur, and we're going to do a smart blur. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see my entire car. And then for my radius, I'm going to choose, let's start with about 11.8 for our radius. For our threshold, let's do 27.5. For our quality, we're going to change it to, not medium, high. And for the mode, we're going to change it to edge only. And if you notice, now we kind of have a black picture. And you can always mess with the radius if you want a little bit. It's just going to change the blackness of the picture. Then once you find one that you like, click OK. Wait for it to convert. And then we're going to invert this. So we're going to go Image, Adjustment, Invert. So now we have a car. If you notice the outside of the car, some of us, we don't really have a thick outline to the car like you see the wheels here. They kind of got a little distorted in our blurring. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a stroke to help outline the car better. So we're going to go Edit, Stroke. We're going to do a color. Click on the color. Mine was automatically white. We're just going to click on it and we're going to make a black stroke. And we're going to make the width, we want it kind of small, so I'm going to do maybe 4 pixels. And I want it to be on the inside. And then I'm going to click OK. So now we kind of have an outline that better outlines the outside of our car. Next, we're going to apply a couple more filters to help this picture look a little bit more poster-like and less picture-like. So kind of what you would see on a comic book or on a poster, and not so much of a photograph that you would take with your camera. So the first filter we're going to do is going to be, we're going to go Filter, we're going to do Artistic. So we're in my filter gallery. We're going to go to the artistic one, and we are going to choose Poster Edge. This one right here. And for the thickness, we're going to choose 10. For the edge intensity, we're going to choose 0. And for the posterization, we're going to make 6. We're going to click OK. And then we're going to apply one more filter. So we're going to go Filter, Filter Gallery again, Artistic, and this time we're going to do Cutout. And for the number of levels, we're going to keep it at 4. Edge Simplicity, we're going to keep it at 4. And Edge Fidelity, we're going to take it to a 3. So it just kind of makes it a little bit more like it was drawn versus someone took a picture of it with a camera. So the last thing we have to do is we're going to save this, but we only want to save it, we only want to save this one. So make sure you hide the background and you hide the bottom layer. So the only thing that should be showing is your car. You shouldn't have a background or anything. These little gray and white squares means it's a transparent background, which means you can see through it. We're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save it as a PNG. And it should be already named your last name, first initial underscore car. Save it somewhere that you know where you can get to it, because we're going to need it in a second when we switch over to Illustrator. So I'm going to save mine to my desktop. Just click OK on anything that you've been asked. And we are done with Photoshop for now, so you can exit out of it.